Okay, so all right, Andrea, why don't you start off by saying what you did, what you said to me. We'll say it on the count of three. We'll say it together
Bitch.
on how you want to start the show. Ready? On the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Let's go, bitch. Are you ready? Come on, you have to see. You said it.
I told you that.
I said on the count of three. 1, 2, 3.
Let's go, bitch.
Let's go, bitch. Okay, ready? Here we go.
Do you like being called a bitch?
I love being called a bitch. All right,
Me
better.
too.
It's better than the other word you used this morning. All right, the C word. All right, so let's get it cracking here on a lovely Monday morning. Welcome aboard, everybody. That's how we start off. Nice to see the chat room supporting us with Greg and Chris from Cambridge.
Look, John Garofalo is here.
Johnny Boy is here. Johnny Garofalo, who sends me all kinds of stuff.
He sent me a message too last night.
Messages and this and that.
Well,
Rotorius is here. Eddie Heckman, DK Lush, Chris Gallo. And let me just make an announcement. The Legend Radio Network is going to start expanding. We tried this a couple of years ago. If you have any interest in doing a show, let me know. Morning DK Lush, and we'll get you started. And we'll start once again the Legends Radio Network. Okay? There you go.
I don't know who's going to run that.
We'll see. Anybody paying attention? Mike Trout off the injured list. Shohei Ohtani, they're back together again. Trout and Ohtani, it sounds great, but what do you think of Trout for the rest of the season?
Well, he hasn't stolen a base all season.
No, that's true. That's one of the biggest things. We'll get into that later, the biggest surprises of the year. That's got to be one of them.
Yeah, Ohtani didn't do good yesterday either.
No, but Trout 3 for 11 since returning. And let's talk about the most important thing. We don't expect a hell of a lot from Trout. But what do you do next year? Where do you put Mike Trout? I don't think he's a number one pick anymore, but is he a first-round pick next year?
No.
No.
It's that simple.
It's that no. Where do you pick Mike Trout next year?
I'm not taking Mike Trout. If he doesn't have stolen bases and he's on a crappy team, as always, what are you going to do? You can't draft him in the first round. He's not the old Mike Trout. He started off the season excellent. We really liked how he was doing, but he never attempted to steal any bases, and he's not going to moving forward because his age is... You don't just start stealing bases again once you stop.
Morning, Daddy Ekman, the eternal Oriole fan. Tommy Johnson is here. Good morning. After facing the tough National League East rivals 15 times in 18 games, believe it or not, the New York Mets get a break. They get a break. They go to the soft part of their schedule.
Against the Yankees.
And they're playing the Yankees. And
so that's the soft part of their schedule.
That's what it seems like.
Who else are they going to play?
The Yankees avoided a sweep. They beat the Blue Jays. Big game yesterday for the Yankees. They beat them 4-2. They're back to having an 8-game lead in the American League East. And now the Yankees have to face Jake DeGrom, Max Scherzer, and then...
They already just faced Manoah.
But again, they may come back to face Manoah on Wednesday of next week. So that's their fate. What do you think?
The Yankees are still ahead by 8 games.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay and Toronto both trail by 8 games, and they're 3-7 in their last 10. But they got to win yesterday to avoid the sweep, and there's still 8 games is a lot of games to make up. So while the season is long and there's ups and downs and everybody's annoyed, what about Garrett Cole? Did you see his antics again?
He was so vocal in the dugout that they actually heard him on the air on the radio broadcast.
Cursing.
Yeah, cursing from the dugout.
He's horrible, dude.
He's not having. Is Garrett Cole?
Can he keep himself under control?
Well, you don't keep yourself under control when you get upset. So why should he? Where the important thing, and this is what we're going to be doing a lot, is talking about preparing for next. What's wrong?
Nothing. I'm just listening to you.
The best time to prepare for next year is when? Hello? The best time to prepare for next year is?
After the season.
Now.
Why don't you say it?
So what about Garrett Cole? What do you think we're going to do? Is he still going to be a top pitcher next year? Or you're relegating him to, let's say, the fourth round next year?
I'm not drafting him because I don't like the guy. So it has nothing to do with fantasy.
Come on.
I just don't like him.
Is he a $17 pitcher next year? Garrett Cole, is he a $17 pitcher?
Yes.
17.
But not in my world.
I'll go 18.
Good for you.
Anybody going 19 on Garrett Cole? You know, and over the last 11 games, the Yankees have scored 21 runs, and they've been batting 178. Now, yeah, and prior to that, the last time the Yankees had so few runs while having such a low batting average in any 11-game span was 1914. Unholy Toledo. Is Unholy Toledo here? He's not. He was at the game. He hasn't come home from the game yet.
He did go to the game?
Yeah, he went to the game in 1914. Dad's the Premier is here. Okay. And Unholy Toledo still sleeping with his doggies.
The dogs will wake him up when it's time.
I'm sure. All right.
Phillies third baseman, Alec Bohm.
Oh, we knew he would arrive.
I had my questions about him.
Go ahead.
I didn't know if he would arrive. He's got a type of... His skill set is really to make contact, and he hasn't been able to do that up until this year. So you really see his power coming through since the All-Star break, really. I mean, his power has been just amazing. 2 3-run home runs. You have to...
Don't worry about it. I'm getting a phone call.
Yeah, and when you get a phone call, the sound goes off a Spreaker. That's why I had to do something about it.
I didn't know that. Okay. So anyway, Phillies third baseman with 2 3-run home runs in a game. Alec Bohm, Mike Schmidt, and Willie. You know what Willie Jones's nickname was?
No.
Puddinhead. Is that the best nickname in the history of sports?
Yeah, well, that's your nickname now.
Willie 1958, Willie Puddinhead Jones. And
You're going to be Puddinhead now.
With Malpal is here. Good morning, Mal. Now you feel better. Now you can start with Malpal in the chat room.
What do you want me to do?
I don't know. You haven't. You've been a little sluggish.
Well, when you scream at me, it's not nice.
Well, the Blue Jays have struggled in August, 8-9, but they picked up 4.5 games on the Yankees.
They're still 8 games back.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see. But now I'm going to. Here's a debate coming on.
Okay,
right now.
Malpal will enjoy this one.
Okay,
did this come from Malpal?
No, it did not come from Malpal. It came from Merrill Harson. Good morning, Merrill. Okay?
Okay.
No, it didn't come from anybody. It came from me.
It came from
now,
you.
Let me just go over this with you, and I'd like the chat room to contribute as well. Fernando Tatis gets ostracized for making a medical mistake during an injury. Say what you want. Give him the benefit. We'll call it a mistake. But Marcel Ozuna can beat his wife
on camera,
risk
in front of a police officer,
risk lives while driving under the influence, and he's in the starting lineup. Tatis gets suspended. Ozuna gets put in the lineup. What the hell is wrong with that? To me,
what about Bauer? Bauer's out for good.
Forget Bauer, okay? But still.
Forget Bauer. Okay.
I didn't put Bauer in. I'm just saying Tatis made I'll call it a mistake, an error, whatever even if he did it on purpose. But Ozuna can beat his wife, risk lives, driving under the influence, and he was in the starting lineup
and
yesterday.
The fans aren't pleased because they booed him every time he went up to the plate.
Okay, but should Ozuna be in the lineup? Shouldn't he be suspended? What kind of policy is this to put a guy back in the lineup after he drives under the influence with the ability to really hurt a lot of people? It's bull dinky and more than poppycock.
David Robertson, one of the original effectors.
Yeah.
He's now a top fab target because your boy Sir Anthony and Corey Knebel are both on the injured list. Corey Knebel's season is over. He has a tear in his right shoulder, so he went to Texas for some stem cell treatment to avoid surgery. But this guy Robertson, his ERA on the season is 2.20. In 49 innings, he's allowed 29 hits and struck out 62. So he's having a decent season. The problem really comes with his blown saves. I mean, he's got 17 saves on the season, and he's blown 6 saves. He allowed 2 runs on 2 hits and took a loss yesterday against the Mets. So, you know, what are you going to do? You need a closer, you pick him up. That's why he's a top target.
I had a chance to get... I took Givens over Robertson.
Where's Brad Hand?
I don't know. He seems to have disappeared.
Because they're saying still, even though both Sir Anthony Dominguez and Corey Knebel are out, the manager says that Robertson is not their full closer.
Well, who is?
Well,
let's get who. You gotta be kidding me. Phones just don't stop. There you go. It stopped. All right. So anyway, I put it on
and
mute.
You didn't hang up.
And I didn't hang up. I don't care. Let them listen.
Anyways, Connor Brogdon, Brad Hand, and David Robertson will probably all share the honors of getting saved, but I do wonder about Brad Hand. I didn't look up his stats beforehand. Did you hear me? I didn't look up his stats beforehand.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris from Cambridge.
Yeah, now Chris from Cambridge says Tatis is getting crucified through the media. Steroids can be just about any meds when trying to clear up. You know what? I'll tell you something.
He roided it up last week with some prednisone dealing with some arthritis.
Okay,
yeah, that's
you're not playing baseball.
They give prednisone to all kinds of things, which is asthma. He's got arthritis. They give it to all kinds of things. When it's the prednisone is not. Anyway, I agree with him 100%, and I 100% believe that the media has become just vultures. If they don't like you, if the media didn't like Ozuna, he'd be out of baseball right now.
Okay, and he should be on the bench, suspended 100%. If anybody disagrees with me, put it in the chat room.
Well, what have we come to that where we're in a place where the media gets to decide who goes into the Hall of Fame? They get to decide who's a good enough person to play baseball professionally. They get to decide what you're doing, what you're saying, whether or not it fits their ideas. Then they get to destroy or they get to promote certain athletes. It's just ridiculous. Like, journalism has died.
Malpal in the chat room asks a question. Would you rather have Robertson or Hader for the rest of the year? How about that one? There was a point earlier in the year where I thought that Hader had a chance to win MVP. Or so I thought he did.
Oh, Lordy.
Oh, what the heck? Here come the calls. So I would probably say, and Hader's got an ERA since he's been with San Diego of over 16. What?
Don't say that. Malpal's here. He can't.
Yeah, Malpal says he'd rather have Hader or Robertson the rest of the year. Who do you say?
Hader.
Okay.
I don't know why, though, because it's getting to the point where I can't keep making up excuses for Hader. I keep telling Malpal, just hold on, just wait. He'll come back. He'll start pitching better. And every day I'm like, oh.
So next year, and again, a lot of what we're going to be doing now for the next month or so is focusing on next year's draft. How much are you paying for Hader next year in a 260 format? Are you going $12 on Hader? I think that's the price he's going to go for.
He's going to go for more than that.
He's going to go for $12, maybe $13. Anybody say, let's have a little auction here. $13 on Josh Hader next year. Okay, if we have a bidding for next year, $13 for Josh Hader.
I'd spend $13.
All right, $13 for
I don't
Hader.
know, though. We don't know what his injury is. He's got to have something wrong with him. There's no way you go from that good to this bad without something wrong.
Marta123 is here. And ladies and gentlemen, Unholy Toledo has made it into the chat room. Good morning.
We wait for you, Unholy.
We wait. Now it's an official show. Welcome aboard, everybody. Let's get back to it.
Rafael Devers.
Yes, what about him?
How much are you spending on him?
Oh, wow. He's turning out to be one of the best fantasy players. I'll probably...
He's 25.
I'll say $26 to $28.
More than that, don't you think?
I'll say 20.
Okay, well, he's already had...
He doesn't have the steals, so I'll say 26. I'm going 25 on Devers. Okay. Anybody going 26?
I'll say 26.
I'll say 27. 27
At 25 years old, he already has 3 seasons with 25 home runs. He hit 32 homers in 2019, 38 last year, and he already has 25 this year. He's the youngest player.
The youngest player to do what? Since what?
Is this a trivia?
No, he's the youngest player to do what?
To have 3 25 home run seasons for the Red Sox.
Oh, you didn't say. I would say Jim Rice is the answer.
You're just a fool.
I'm a fool.
You're
okay.
a bitch.
All right, look, Eddie Heckman is all over the place, and Eddie Heckman is on fire. So let's talk about his Orioles. Jorge Mateo, 27.
He's 27.
He's not 27. He's got 27 stolen bases. Cedric Mullins has 25. They're first and second in the American League in stolen bases. Mateo could be the biggest bargain of the year this year.
What about Birdie?
No, Mateo, because Mateo's got the home runs. Mateo's got the biggest bargain in fantasy baseball this year. You agree?
No. I don't
No?
know. I don't know for sure. Maybe.
And Mullins could have been the biggest buy last year.
Now listen to Cedric Mullins, because I drafted him on several teams, and all the experts were saying...
Zelmo is here. Good morning. Go
and
ahead.
Tony.
And Tony.
The experts, they all went and shied away from Cedric Mullins this year in drafts, and I actually drafted him on several teams. Of course, he had that great season last year where he hit 30 home runs and stole 30 bases, batting .291. No, he's not as good as he was, but he's still very good. He's got 25 steals on the year. He's got 11 home runs, so the power has definitely subsided. But I still like Cedric Mullins. He really is in my opinion, he really does have all the qualities. All 5 categories come from Cedric Mullins, and he's a set it and forget it type of player. He's already had 510 plate appearances this year. Last year he had 674. So we're talking about a leadoff. Is he leadoff?
Yes, he's batting leadoff.
A leadoff guy who does hit for some power, and I think that his price will go down next season, and I'm definitely going to be targeting him because I do think that he comes with very good plate discipline and all-around good player.
And right now, Mateo and Mullins stand first and second in the American League in stolen bases. How about those Eddie Heckman Baltimore Orioles?
Yeah, the last time did we already say this? The last time 2 teammates...
Finished first or second? Well, who?
Since 1980.
Who was it?
Grissom and DeShields.
Oh, and for the Expos. That was 1992, not 1980.
Since 1980, only teammates.
Oh, right, yeah.
Okay, and Mondesi and Merrifield did it in 2020 for the Royals, so that didn't really help out the team that much.
And staying with the Orioles, Ryan Mountcastle made his debut 2 years ago against the Red Sox. He's got 55 career home runs, the most of any player for the Orioles franchise within 2 years of his debut. One more than...
What about Chris Davis?
No, Eddie Murray.
Oh.
Eddie Murray hit 54 home runs in his first 2 years. How about that one?
Well, I was talking to Malpal again about Ryan Mountcastle because he was considering making a trade. His trade deadline is coming up this next week, or maybe this week now. Maybe it's today. I don't know, but it's coming up quickly. And he's ahead in his league by 0.5 point.
Wow.
And the guy that's in third is willing to trade Aaron Judge. And I say to Malpal, if you let Aaron Judge go to the guy behind you, who's only 0.5 point behind
You're in trouble.
you are going to lose the league over this.
You got to play defense every once in a while, right?
So he was talking about how the guy wanted to get a bunch of players for Judge. He wanted Mountcastle in there. And Mountcastle is a player that Malpal could keep for a pretty good price going into next season. And so he's hesitant to give up Mountcastle, who has 17 home runs on the season. He's batting .248. But the deal is, my biggest thing is not that, Judge is going to really help you. He's going to help you in every hitting category. But what he's really going to do, if he goes to that guy in second, you're in trouble.
I'll tell you somebody else who's going to really help the chat room. It's Triple Play. Triple Play is in here in the chat room. Good morning to Mr. Play. Did you look at the Tampa Rays lineup?
Is John Garofalo still here?
Is Johnny Garofalo still? No, I think
we
Johnny left.
were supposed to talk about... Yeah.
I think Johnny left. Huh. Okay, but anyway, here's the point.
Today's Rays lineup is the first in MLB history.
Yesterday's. Not today's. It was yesterday's.
It's probably going to be the same today, fool.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
It's the first in Major League Baseball history to have 8 different nationalities in the same starting lineup.
8 different nationalities.
Whoop-de-doo, dude.
Why? You had the United States.
Why are we even paying attention to all this?
Certainly have Dominican Republic. Who else do they have?
Cuba, Colombia, Venezuela, Mexico, Taiwan.
That's pretty cool. Now the Cardinals swept the Diamondbacks, and they are 15-3 in August.
Whoopsie-doo.
The Cardinals, their best August winning percentage since 1944. And your boy, you love Albert. You love all the old guys, right?
Yes, I do. I love Goldschmidt, Arenado, Wainwright, Yachty, and Pujols.
Albert Pujols.
My favorite. Well, I love Manny Machado too, but I'm sorry. Every time we do a show together, I get so lucky because I get to talk about Albert Pujols. On Friday, I got to talk about Albert Pujols hitting 2 home runs on Thursday. Now we get to talk about him hitting another 2 home runs on Saturday. The fans love him. I mean, they have signs out there. It makes me cry.
And against left-handed pitching, he is 12 for his last 20 with 6 homers, 12 RBIs. Since August 10th.
Now, okay, King Hap, he's not here, he's at work, but...
Okay, good. He doesn't work.
He's working, otherwise he would be here.
Good.
He's got $1,000 on Albert Pujols hitting 700 home runs, and he's 8 away now. And just on Friday, he was 10 away. Do you think that King Hap will get his money?
No, I think he'll fall short.
If Albert Pujols...
I'm just guessing. It's just a gut feeling. I think he'll fall. He's having his hot streak now. I don't think he's going to keep it up, and I think he may fall 1 or 2 short. He'll get it next year for sure.
Is he going to play next year? That's the question.
He'll play. If that's what it's going to take to get him to play, look, he's not having a bad year, so it's not that he's going to play next year. He's a good player.
Is it possible for Adam Wainwright and Yachty and Pujols to come back to the Cardinals next year?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
The Cardinals are winning.
The Cardinals are just... I wish every team was like them.
The Dodgers, Will Smith. Here's an interesting
And what
one.
about Newt Bar? Isn't he on the Cardinals?
Yeah, Lars Nootbaar.
Yeah, he was good.
Okay, now I'm going to talk about something else.
Okay,
now.
talk about something else.
Will Smith has come to the plate with runners in scoring position 31% of his plate appearances since the start of last season. That's a higher percentage than any other hitter in the league. And also for the Dodgers, if you need a closer, Blake Trinan, rehabbing with Oklahoma City.
Hold on a minute. Let me talk about Will Smith.
Yeah, all right, go ahead.
What? Look at his season. Last year he had 25 homers. Okay.
Yeah.
And 3 stolen bases. Now he has 18 homers and 1 stolen bases, but he's got 73 RBIs as a catcher, which is wonderful, and an average of 274. I mean, you can't beat it for a catcher.
All right. Now,
anyway, you want to talk about Blake Trinan?
Yeah, Blake Trinan. Pick him up if you can, because he may be getting some opportunities. He's finishing up his rehab.
2nd September. They're saying they're expecting him back on the 2nd of September. He's been out on the 60-day injured list. So he actually didn't make his 3rd rehab appearance at AAA Oklahoma City on Saturday like the Dodgers wanted him to, but they said that wasn't any result of a physical setback. So he will take the next 2 weeks to get ramped up in the minors, but even when he does come back, he's not the closer. He's nowhere close to being the closer.
Yeah.
So, the fact that we're even talking about him, okay.
Well, okay, I'll tell you something else.
You want to talk about Paul O'Neill?
No, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Paul O'Neill. New York Yankees Paul O'Neill.
Didn't he come out and get celebrated or something?
He got celebrated, but I'll tell you what. Paul O'Neill, now, I'm fine.
Did the fans boo him or something?
No,
what happened?
I'm fine with Paul O'Neill being celebrated. The trade that brought O'Neill to the Yankees. Does anybody in the chat room, outside of anybody, remember
Roberto Kelly?
Roberto Kelly traded for Paul O'Neill. Now that was not popular in New York. Everybody loved Roberto Kelly. But I will tell you something. He's a good player. He was an excellent player for the... Paul O'Neill's number should not be retired. As a matter of fact, until I looked it up, I didn't even know what his number was. You can't put him in the same category as DiMaggio and Mantle and Yogi.
And Babe.
You cannot retire Paul. You're really...
Why did he get his number retired?
I mean, fine, have a day. He was a big player, but he wasn't that big. I mean, Paul O'Neill, I don't have his numbers. Paul O'Neill for the Yankees, he had a couple of good seasons, but Paul O'Neill did not deserve to have it. He had 24 home runs for the Yankees, was his top 117, 116 RBIs.
Okay.
He got votes for All-Star, for MVP. But still, Paul O'Neill's number should not be retired. That's only for very special ball players. O'Neill, as good as he was, is not is not in that league.
Well, so he had, in 17 years, he had 281 homers. You compare that just to who we've been talking about today, which is Albert Pujols, who has almost 700 homers. He's got 281 homers and 141 stolen bases, but 73 times he got caught stealing. So he's getting caught stealing.
Paul O'Neill is not that kind of... By the way, Eddie Heckman says...
When I'm in the middle of a sentence...
Well, shut up then.
I'm going to dump you.
All right. No, well, Eddie Heckman said we're tame today. Why is that?
Well, not anymore.
Apparently. Not anymore. Put him up. All right. I don't think Paul... All right, guys, you finish off on...
Okay,
on Paul.
Puddinhead.
Finish up on Paul O'Neill.
My tub of love.
She calls me her tub of love. All right. Anybody else have a nickname? Her tub of love.
Now you're Puddinhead, Leonard.
Puddinhead. All right. So anyway, I really believe that the trade Paul O'Neill...
he says that was the best thing that ever happened to him. Of course it was.
But
now this might be the best thing that ever happened to him. I mean, it seems like he probably won't. Will he even make the Hall of Fame?
No, Paul O'Neill. When you get your number retired, you should make the Hall of Fame. Does anybody think Paul O'Neill deserves to be in the Hall of Fame? Paul O'Neill in the Hall of Fame. Anybody think that Paul O'Neill... What has he got?
I told you, 281 homers.
He hasn't
total.
hit 300 home runs. Come on, man. Why did they put Paul... You know why? I'll tell you why.
Because the media liked him?
No, because they're trying to... It's the reason they played in Williamsport. They're trying to get the fans to come to the games. They're trying to lighten up the fans. And with the Yankees slumping so badly... They needed something to keep them going.
Okay, you took a couple things out of the notes that I wanted to touch on.
No, I didn't.
White Sox pitching has avoided hitting a batter.
It's right here.
Oh. So, is that... Okay, well, you passed it, Leonard.
I passed it.
Why'd you pass it?
Intending to come back.
Well, don't do that anymore.
Go ahead.
The White Sox have not hit a batter all season. That's the most in Major Leagues, of course.
They haven't hit all season?
Not one batter. In 98 games so far this season, that's the most in MLB, of course, because it's the only one. The White Sox lead, but they also lead MLB in games with more ground into double plays than walks. So they're grounding into double plays more than walks. Apparently they're getting runners on base.
Right.
But they're 500 in games. They're 17-17 in the games where they... actually ground into double play more than they take a walk.
Wow.
Okay. The White Sox pitching, but Wander Franco, going over to the Rays.
Yes.
He's still experiencing soreness in his right hand while swinging, so the Rays are pulling him off his rehab assignment with the AAA Durham Bulls, and he will return to St. Pete and continue getting treatment here. But this guy, what a disappointment for fantasy managers, where he's got 5 home runs on the season, 5 stolen bases, and a .260 batting average. when do they expect him back now? There's no timetable for return. They say that he's going to actually have to go back to the minor league affiliates for game action at some point before being activated from the injured list, but we don't even know when that will happen because he has lingering soreness in his surgically repaired right wrist. Now, the last thing the Rays want to do is put this guy back in action.
No doubt.
I mean, he
it,
just
right.
had surgery.
Yep.
I don't know for sure that we'll see him back unless the Rays somehow hang on to that wild card spot.
I think one of next year's top players is going to be Riley Green. Did you see the home run he hit yesterday? The second longest homer by a Tiger rookie. Only Akil Baddoo back in 2021 as a rookie has hit the longest. So next year, Riley Green, I will tell you right now, go the extra $1 for Riley Green.
Last night, Riley Green reached 4 times. Okay, he went 2 for 2 with a home run, a double, 2 runs scored, 2 walks, and an RBI. So, I mean, he just crushed Ohtani's first pitch into the seats yesterday, and he reached base safely in all 3 of his other appearances. Now, Riley Green so far in 257 plate appearances has 4 home runs, a stolen base, and he's been caught stealing 4 times. Do not expect this kid to get the green light on the base pass.
Not at all. By the way, speaking of green light, John Garofalo's back in the chat room.
Okay, yeah, John, I wanted to address what you sent us because John Garofalo sent us a text last night saying that he just saw this player, Vaughn Brown. He said he was excellent and that he has a great power and speed combo and that he just looked really good. And then he goes to check the stat line on CBS and he sees that Vaughn Brown doesn't have any player page yet. Well, part of the reason for that is clearly that he's still at high A, but I will give credit to RotoWire. When you go over to RotoWire, you check out Vaughn Brown's page. He does have a page there. And I do think this has something to do with the fact that he's not higher. He's not even in double A or single A.
Right.
He's in high A right now. But according to John Garofalo, which I trust very much, Vaughn Brown looked great yesterday. Good power speed combo. If you're in the Dynasty League, Keeper League, any of those, keep an eye on this guy. Write him down in your notes and pay attention because this is the type of player that if he doesn't have a page on CBS means that a lot of people aren't talking about him. So I wanted to just let everybody know Vaughn Brown, VAUNBROWN, Vaughn Brown.
And here's the name for you.
Hold on. Go back.
Go back to what?
Votto. You skipped Votto.
Okay, but I'm talking about Only Toledo. It says watch out for Crow Armstrong next year, who was involved in a trade with the Mets this year and the whole deal. Yo, what do you say? Joey Votto came up with the funniest line. You know, he was hurt, but he said, I didn't know I was hurt. I just thought I stunk.
How do you not know you're hurt?
You can't.
Hold on a minute. Joey Votto. So the guy hasn't hit at all over the last few weeks, at least. Underwent season-ending surgery to repair his torn left rotator cuff. I just wonder how you don't know that your rotator cuff is torn. But it ends this season. It's his 16th season with the Cincinnati Reds well, maybe he hasn't been with the Reds the whole time, but 16th season in the majors. So he was only hitting 205 this season, but he did hit 11 home runs. And I do think that people are not going to draft Joey Votto anymore next year. But I might take a chance on him for $1 or a reserve player.
Well, no, first baseman, Christian Walker, C.J. Cron, who has quieted down. And that's good because he's quieted down. So next year, you can bet your sweet Bippy that C.J. Walker is going to be on one of my teams.
Christian.
His
name is Christian.
Yeah, I mean C.J. Cron.
C.J. Cron.
Yeah, and Christian Walker, 2 different players.
So, but you like both of them?
Yes, I like both of them a lot.
So anyway, back to Riley Green for just a second. I don't know if you said this. He hit 448 feet, home run.
Yeah.
Second longest homer by a Tigers rookie.
Yep.
Since 2015 when they started doing StatCast. Guess who hit the longest?
I said that already. Akil Baddoo. Maybe you should listen to the show. Franmil Reyes.
Suck on it.
Who was having such a tough season. He is now batting close to 370 over 30 plate appearances. Why are you laughing? Do you think Franmil Reyes is draftable for next year?
Ask Malpal. He has Franmil on his
Oh,
team.
you do?
Yeah.
Malpal.
And he's also got Franchi, I think. Anyway, Franmil Reyes. I have his stats right in front of me. I pulled them up for you.
Okay.
11 homers this season. You know, that's a very big disappointment, especially since he hit 30 home runs last year, and in 2019 he hit 37. There's no doubt this guy has power, but this year his batting average is the worst it's ever been at 231. He has stolen 2 bases, but his RBI's at 35. He's now in Chicago, which has helped him, actually, because like you said, he's batting .367 over 30 plate appearances since he joined Chicago. I don't think this has anything to do with what team he's on. The guy has power that can translate in any park in baseball. So next year, am I going to take a discount on Franmil and get him in the 16th round?
Yes.
I'm doing it.
I definitely do it. Don't forget, if you want to do a podcast and be on the Legends Radio Network, absolutely get in touch with me. And if you want to write my biography, get in touch with me on that too. We got a lot of people suggesting I write my bio. All right, let's go on to the games. There's a lot of interesting things.
I bet I'm the only one that could write it, Leonard.
You're probably the only one. Jake Fraley, watch him for next year. He had 3 RBIs. He scored 4 times. The Cincinnati Reds, and you got to like the Cincinnati team. It's even talked about in the box score. Votto not having a great year, but the Cincinnati fans have not booed Joey Votto, okay?
Cincinnati took 2-3 from the Pirates, which isn't saying much, and the Pirates dropped 8 of their last 10.
That's right.
Mike Minor, Cincinnati Reds, won for the first time since June 13th. He still gave up 5 runs on 9 hits. Moustakas hit a 2-run home run. 416 feet, by the way, so he's still got something in him.
And he did it while he's on the DL. No, he played. He actually played.
Hunter Green. Everybody loves Hunter Green because he throws out over 100. This guy is never going to be healthy if he doesn't slow down.
I think he'll be a great pick next year.
I don't.
Threw a bullpen on Sunday.
No, he's expected. Yes, sorry.
Oh, he's been out with a strained right shoulder.
Yeah.
And Brian Hayes could be back on Tuesday.
Yeah.
All right, so understand that.
Ronzi Contreras will start today to kick off a 3-game series against the Braves. He's going to face Odorizzi. That's it for that team.
We'll see about that.
Astros 5, Braves 2.
Okay,
4.
we talked about Ozuna, booed by his home fans. He should not. And Jose Urquidy won his 12th game for the American League leading Astros. He's a good pitcher. Atlanta, 52-21 since June 1st. That's the best in the majors over that span. And then they won 11 out of 22. And what about Matt? Ooh, excuse me.
Okay, just be quiet for a minute.
I will.
Houston began the game with the American League best road winning percentage at .585. They've always been really good on the road. They went 3-4 on this road trip, so they actually did not have a winning record on this road trip. The first time this season that the Astros didn't post a 500 record or better away from home. They did avoid getting swept. The only time they've been swept on the road was on July 25th to July 27th, if you can believe it, of all places, Oakland.
Okay.
Atlanta is 52-21 since June 1st. It's the best in the majors over that span, and they've won 11 out of 12 games. Matt Olson hit his 26th home run. It was 432 feet. Okay. He has 62 RBIs just since June 1st. 62 RBIs just since June 1st. That's the most in the National League over that span. And then you have Charlie Morton, who, if you took a chance on him, you're pretty happy. He allowed 2 runs, 5 hits, 2 walks, struck out 11 in 6 innings. That's his 5th double-digit strikeout performance and his 2nd straight. But on the other side, you have Urquidy. He gave up 2...
Is that his name? Urquidy or Urquidy?
Well, it's a Q.
Oh, it's Urquidy.
Spelled with a Q.
Urquidy. Go ahead. What is he, 7-1?
He gave up 2 runs on 5 hits. He walked 2 and struck out 6 in 7 innings. But Urquidy won his 12th game for the Astros, and there's some other notes here on Urquidy.
Yeah,
over his last 11 starts...
Wow.
Oh, forget it. Go ahead.
What do you mean? Go ahead.
Bah!
Over his last 11 starts, he's 7-1 with a 2.48 ERA, and the Astros have won 15 of his last 20. He's 33-13 in day games, the best in the major leagues. Urquidy, when you're playing DFS, he's pitching during the day, you go with him.
Ryan Presley earned 25th save and 29 chances. It wasn't very good. He gave up a triple. He got, I don't know, he did a couple things. He's like the Jonathan Papelbon reincarnated.
Yep. All right, let's go to the Met game. Mark Canha hit 2 homers, drove him. He's one of your favorite players, right?
He's one of my favorite priced players.
Or priced players.
Because he never gets costly.
Okay.
Even though he does stuff like this.
His second home run was a go-ahead 2-run drive in the 9th inning. Brandon Nimmo hit a solo homer as the Mets took 3 of 4 in the series. They are 14-5 against the Phillies. They upped their lead over second place Atlanta to 4 games.
Nate Fisher. Okay, he was actually working for a bank last year. He's 26 years old, lefty. He was undrafted out of the University of Nebraska, and then he pitched in 12 games at Single A for the Mariners organization in 2019. A year ago, he was employed at the First National Bank of Omaha, determining whether to approve commercial loans. So
I'll bet he doesn't pitch another game this year.
He made his debut at Citizens Bank Park. He was very good. 3 scoreless innings. So what are you saying?
He's not going to pitch another game. Okay? He's not fantasy
This
relevant.
season with the Mets organization, he was 0-1 with a 3.77 ERA in 12 games at AA Binghamton, and 1-2 with a 3.12 ERA in 12 games at AAA Syracuse before he got called up yesterday. He retired 3 batters and walked 1. Then he walked Kyle Schwarber to lead off the 6th. But bottom line, he pitched 3 scoreless innings. It's not that fantasy relevant.
Okay, not fantasy relevant. But what about Edwin Diaz? What are you huffing and puffing for? We're running out of time, so let's pick up the pace. Edwin Diaz ended his scoreless inning streak, pitched out of trouble in the 9th, got his 28th save in 31. He hadn't surrendered a run since June 22nd over 21 innings. Okay? Mm-hmm. And Starling Marte continued tremendous hitting at Citizens Bank Park. Okay, 3 for 5, a double. He's batting .399, 5 homers, 18 RBIs, and 35 career games in Philadelphia.
Castellanos had a pair of singles. He's got 11-game hitting streak.
Okay, what about Bryce Harper?
Taijuan Walker can return to the mound as early as tomorrow against the Yankees. Harper will likely begin a rehab assignment at AAA on Tuesday or Wednesday. That's it.
And for Toronto and the Yankees, Benintendi, I like him a lot. He hit a tie-breaking 2-run homer. The Yankees got the desperately needed win, 4-2. So, and I'll tell you what, we talked about Paul O'Neill. Brian Cashman got booed. Paul O'Neill retired his number. I'll tell you, Benintendi also doubled, hit his 4th homer. If you can get Benintendi now for the stretch, get him. He's going to be a big player.
Lou Trevino got the final 7 outs, and Nestor Cortez 1 run, 3 hits, 6 innings.
And Alek Manoah 2 runs, 1 of them earned, 4 hits, 6. He's becoming one of the best pitchers in baseball.
George Springer didn't start for the 3rd straight game. He fouled the ball off his knee. He went 5 for 5 on Thursday. He singled as a pinch runner in the 7th.
And don't forget Giancarlo Stanton, his left Achilles tendonitis, 0 for 3 as a DH in his first rehab game. He's going to work out Monday afternoon. And Severino is going to pitch live batting practice. So the Yankees just waiting for these guys to come back.
Tampa beat Kansas City 3-2. Harold Ramirez had 3 hits, drove in 2 runs. He has a hit in all 5 games since he returned from a broken right thumb. He's batting .337.
For crying out loud, Lenny. That's your favorite thing, okay? The Rays have won 7 out of 9. They've held opponents to only 3 runs or less in 8 of their last 9 games. And Zach Greinke lifted after allowing 2 runs, 5 hits, only pitched 4 innings. Kansas City 2-8 on the road in August. They've been outscored 48-15. Okay.
Detroit beat the Angels 4-0. Eduardo Rodriguez pitched 5 shutout innings. Imagine that. If you still have him on your team, you're amazing. Okay. Ohtani left the game with a stomach virus. After 4 innings, he allowed 3 runs on 5 hits and walked 4. And Eduardo Rodriguez hadn't pitched in the majors since May 18th. And he actually left baseball in June, deal with family issues, but he was on the restricted list till Friday, so he's back. Jonathan Scope missed the game. He sprained his right ankle on Saturday, so A.J. Hinch says that Scope could be placed on the injured list if he's not able to play by tomorrow.
What about that Texas-Minnesota game?
Marcus Simeon, Nate Lowe. Is it Nathaniel now?
I guess.
We changed his name now.
Nathaniel Lau.
No, that's not. It's
Nate
definitely
Lowe,
not Lau.
Nathaniel Lau.
No, it's
Brandon
Lau Leonard.
He hit a home run. Okay.
Anyways, is Nathaniel Lowe and Nate Lowe the same
I have
guy?
no idea who they are. I don't. All I know is Adolis Garcia extended his hitting streak to 18 games.
What about?
The longest current streak in the majors. What about who?
You can't pass up Kohei Arihara.
I can't?
No.
Is he fantasy relevant?
Yes, he pitched 6 innings yesterday.
Okay.
So that's the career high for him.
All right. I know the Twins were shut out for the 11th time this season. They now trail Cleveland, who was rained out yesterday, by a game and a half in the American League Central.
Marcus Simeon had a horrible start to the season. He was batting 193 with no homers on May 27th. He hit his very first home run on May 28th, and now he has 19 in 77 games while hitting 256 during that stretch. So he's got a career-high 19 stolen bases, and he's closing in on his first 2020 season. So Simeon did come around.
Yes, he did. He is the player that we expected when we drafted him, and Nate Lowe hit his 18th homer. And he is hot. Since the All-Star break, he's sitting over 360.
We have Cole Calhoun back. He has been out since August 3rd. He played in 3 rehab games, but he is back. He was activated from the injured list, and you can put him back in your lineup.
Okay.
Also, Kenta Maeda has been throwing and is scheduled for another trip to the doctor this week. He could begin throwing live batting practice after the checkup.
Is Josh Lowe worth drafting next year? Or Lau?
It's low. Everybody's low except for Brandon.
Is he worth drafting next year? Yeah, he is, right?
I don't know. I'd have to look, actually.
All I know is
I'm not willing to just answer that question.
I'm going to do a little research on it. I didn't think Keston Hura was worth drafting him, so I didn't draft him, and yet he wound up on my team, and he homered twice and drove in 3 runs yesterday. Every time I look, he does something. Rowdy Tellez hit a home run. Willie Adames hit a tie-breaking sacrifice fly, but the Brewers blew 3 one-run leads, losing to the Cubs 6-5.
So, Josh Lowe made his major league debut with only 2 plate appearances in 2021. He's been in the majors this year. He's got 181 at-bats, only 2 home runs, 3 stolen bases, and no, he was just optioned back down to the AAA. I do not think that he's worth drafting next year.
And this kid Steele, who we've been talking about.
I have him on Tout Wars.
You've been...
Okay, forget it. Yesterday stunk for me.
Why?
Between Kyle Freeland's team and Justin Steele's team, I mean, Kyle Freeland was great. He had like 25 points. And then about 30 minutes later, I go and look at his points and it's down to 5 points because he gave up a grand slam. He got the loss. So all my points were gone. Justin Steele was excellent. He pitched wonderfully, but no, his team can't hold on, and they lose the game, so he doesn't get a win, and I lost the week because, well, also, I blame it on 2 players, but it does go a whole week, so a lot of things happen for Greg Jewett.
Okay. Now, Steele, by the way, is winless in his last 5 starts, but he has an 0.79 ERA, 33 strikeouts in his last 22 2/3 innings. That's not bad.
Stupid.
Not bad. By the way, Suzuki hit his 10th homer in the 4th.
Yeah, Justin Steele's been great. Plus, he qualifies as a reliever.
Yeah. Suzuki hasn't been good. Do you think he's been are you going to put him on the disappointment list this year? He has 10 home. No.
What Suzuki?
The Japanese Suzuki. I forget his first name. Patrick Wisdom was out of the starting lineup.
His name is Seiya. He's a Cubby?
Yes.
His name Cubby?
Wade Miley was feeling better.
How could it be a disappointment when nobody even knew who he was?
But they drafted him thinking he was going to be the hot player.
Well, he was.
Right?
He earned his keep already.
And what about in the San Francisco game? What player do we talk about?
Wilmer.
There you go.
Delivered a go-ahead sacrifice fly in the 11th inning. But this sucks, this game. Evan Longoria hit a grand slam off of my friend Kyle Freeland, who shouldn't even be on my roster.
Right.
Okay, but I'm too lazy to replace him.
Elihuris Montero homered for the third time in 3 games. Keep an eye on this kid. Not many of us really know who he is.
I just picked up that Stone Git guy.
Randall Greichek and Brian Servant also homered. Dominic Leone picked up a win. Zach Littell's got 3 outs for his first save. I don't think he'll be getting any more. Freeland, 6 runs, 7 hits, and 6 1/3. Okay? Very dangerous to house any of these Colorado pitchers. And, of course, Shea Langoliers, who's going to be a nice pick next year. Former Atlanta Brave star, got 3 hits, including he got Oakland's first triple. Oakland went 81 games without a triple, and the A's beat Seattle 5-3. What?
No team in Major League history, did you read that?
No.
No team in Major League history had gone longer without a triple since 1901. Okay?
Okay. I think that's
The
fantastic.
poor Mariners, they need to make the playoffs. I really think they can this year.
And I know Kenny Flamme is here. Good
Go
morning
Mariners.
to Kenny Flamme. And Eddie Heckman mentioned J.P. Sears, former Met, allowed 1 run on a Mitch Haniger homer. And I got to tell you, Seattle, near the top of the wild card standings, loses for the second straight day to the A's. That's
Who have the
gonna
worst record in the American League, by the way?
hurt. I don't know.
That's what I said.
Who?
The Oakland A's.
Yeah, oh yeah, of course. And Castillo failed to reach the 7th inning for the first time. That surprised me. Haniger's 5th homer made it 3-1.
Haniger.
And Ramon Laureano is still moving forward quickly, but not playing. What about the Florida Dodger game?
Miami got crushed 10-3. But Alcantara, who people are saying, okay, what's going on with Alcantara?
What's his name? Is his name Alcantara
It's
or
Alcantara.
Alcantara? I'm listening to MLB this morning, and they were talking about 2 different players, Alcantara and Alcantara.
That's
And
the same
speaking of 2 different players, the king of all hopeless, King Happ.
King Happ, you got
There
2
he
more
is.
home runs for Pujols, dude.
2 more home runs for Pujols. King Happ.
I hope you make it, dude. I'm rooting for Pujols every day.
What's his bet again?
700 home runs. King Happ gets 1,000.
Holy cow.
And he's
King
8
Happ.
away, buddy.
8 away.
8 away.
The king of all haps, doing it once again. In a season where he's dominated everybody, Alcantara was no match for the Dodgers. 3 2/3 innings, the season low. So he threw a scoreless second inning at Dodger Stadium in his second All-Star performance, but nothing.
Okay, here's what Mattingly says. He says that he remains confident in Alcantara, who's given up at least 4 runs in 2 of his last 3 starts. He's 2-3 in his last 8 starts. He noticed Alcantara's pitches were timed at 98, 99, and 100 miles an hour, and he says that he looked easy and he was on an extra day of rest, so he doesn't see any tiredness. You just have to give the guys credit because the Dodgers have a really hard lineup. And Bellinger, speaking of, he entered with just 2 hits in his last 22 at-bats and sat out 3 of the 6 most recent games. So
Keep an eye on J.J. Bleday. He walked to lead off the 4th, and then Lewin
Why?
Diaz hit his first home run, but Bleday hit his 4th homer in the 8th inning. He's a player to watch for next year.
Clayton Kershaw is not going to have to go on a minor league rehab assignment, according to Dave Roberts. He has a bullpen session and a simulated game scheduled before he's activated from the injured list. So that's what's happening. Kershaw does not have to go through all the
Nope.
nonsense.
That's good. Arenado hit a 2-run single.
Arenado, I love the Cardinals.
3 RBIs. The Cardinals stretched their winning streak to 7 games, 6-4.
We're
And
almost done.
here's your boy, Lars Nootbaar, hit his first career leadoff homer. How about that one? Merrill Kelly, who's been very sharp, allowed 2 runs or less in 8 of 9 starts.
But last night he allowed 3 runs on 7 hits and 6 strikeouts in 6 innings.
Jose Quintana's been
been great.
He's been since August 1st.
Since he got traded from Pittsburgh, which makes every pitcher better just immediately. He's allowed 3 earned runs in 17 innings over 3 starts. And he didn't do that good yesterday. He allowed 4 runs, 2 earned on 7 hits, and walked 3 in only 2.5 innings. So,
Jack Flaherty made his 3rd rehab start with Double-A. He could make 1 more before rejoining. And the Nats and the San Diego Padres, and it looks like Josh Bell's out of his slump, slugged his 2nd home run. The Padres
in 2 games.
Beat Washington 2-1. Sean Manaea, 7 strong innings. Patrick Corbin gave up 2 runs, 9 hits.
A home run of Nelson Cruz.
Yep, 6 loss without a win, and that's
and Corbin was excellent for 5 innings, and then he just gets crushed.
Yep. And finally, we told you about the Orioles. Mateo kept the Orioles 2.5 games behind in the race for the 3rd and final wild card spot. And Franchy Cordero, he's back. 6 years talking about Franchy Cordero.
Does he still steal bases?
I don't know. I didn't even know he was up.
He grew up with Tatis.
He called up. He got called up for the game from AAA, and he hits a home run. Craig Mish was right.
As a kid, he used to play with Tatis, and Tatis says that he's a faster runner than him.
There's one reason Major League Baseball launched a game.
Like what?
And that was playing in the Little League World Series. They're trying to, and we talked about this with our son Mark yesterday, the steady decline of baseball viewership among today's kids.
A bunch of nonsense.
It's not nonsense.
So, did you see all the Baltimore guys rolling down the field with on the boxes?
They're trying to associate.
I mean, between the Little League World Series and the mullet competition, dude, the mullet kid.
Fantastic.
How fun. So, Cedric Mullins and all these players were sitting on their cardboard, sliding down the hill at the Little League game. We're rooting for Williamsport because they're from Long Island.
The lady in the legend.
Or Massapequa, I mean.
Signing off until Friday. Thank you.
Why did I say Williamsport?
I have no idea why you say anything.
Where do I come up with this?
I don't know.
Oh, look.
All I can tell you is...
Can you believe it?
Yes, great. Is that your support is just incredible. Greg, Chris from Cambridge, thanks for joining us. Chris Gallo, Data Premier, the DK Lush. Eddie Heckman is back.
King Hap. John
Garofalo, love you kids. Kenny Flamier, king of all haps. The Malpal, the Marta, 1, 2, 3.
And Unholy.
Rotorius and Triple Play and Unholy Toledo. White Sox Gal, Zelmo.
And
Mitchell,
Tony.
Mitchell and Merrill. And don't forget Mrs. Zelmo, the lovely and talented Tony. Thank you, everybody. Going for a 2-hour podcast? Hell no! I can't even sit next to her for an hour. But thanks, everybody.
Don't touch me.
Don't hit me.
Don't touch me.
Don't. All right, you can hit me.
Don't touch me.
We'll talk to you tomorrow, everybody.
He's
Thanks.
touching me.
Talk to you tomorrow. Like Eddie Heckman said, we're tame
Unholy,
today.
It's raining here today, so
It's
Leonard
raining.
is stuck
I'm gonna
inside
be
with me.
inside all freaking day. Speak to you later. Here's my phone number. You gotta save me. It's raining. I'm inside all day. Don't hate on roids, kids, okay? All right? There you go. So, Eddie Heckman, do me a favor. Here's the number. Somebody save me.
It's not typing, Leonard.
I know it's not typing.
Well, then why do you keep typing?
Because I'm an idiot. That's why. 353-6375. I need you, people. Need you, everybody. King Hap, you have a great Tuesday, all right? I'll worry about my own Monday. Thanks, everybody. Leave it.